hues. And she has entered the Great Hall, place where a variety of different royal blues of different shades and hues often go to have a bite to eat. This is their rather large and extensive dining area with a dozen long tables. You could pack so many blues in here, but half of the tables have been replaced on this day by individual chairs, and the chairs are set up in orchestral an orchestral arrangement. Yes, that is the word I'm looking for. And got the strings on one section. You've got violins, violas, cellos. They're kind of the oddballs of that section. They just did not want to learn the violin. So there's a couple of them hanging out next to the one royal blue playing the upright bass. Because that guy's really cool. You know, tall, awkward, and kind of gangly, but everybody likes him. He's he's an oddball. He's like a sea blue. So he's definitely clearly blue, but it's the blue that you see in the ocean, kind of, where it has some greenish hints a little bit, but definitely still blue. You know, some find him odd, some find him cool, but he's there. Guy, one upright bass. And then you've got the woodwinds, you've got your flutes, your clarinets, your saxophones. Also got the brass section with the trumpets and the French horns. Got like a miniature sized orchestra. Each section has a dozen different royal blues. And interestingly enough, there's the odd magenta or the odd indigo. You know, there's a couple of uniquely different outsiders who have been invited to be a part of this orchestra, take lessons from the best, you know, through their connections with the royal blues. And someone of note that you see, Cornelia, is your oldest sister, Carmen. Now, she is the oldest of the royal blues. No one ever speaks of her age. She just will death glare at them if they even try to imply what her age is or whatever. But as it turns out, a little known fact about Carmen Blue is that she is, in fact, a very gifted musician. It is one of the things that you've always known about her, but you didn't realize she was as good as she was because you never see her. But actually, one of the reasons you don't see her is because she's been out performing with an orchestra like the one in front of her, but much bigger. A very beautiful Fey orchestra. It's really wild, but you never. the real reason why she's gone is she's off playing music. But you don't know this because nobody tells Cornelia anything. She's the baby. She doesn't know. It's really kind of awkward. And you haven't seen your sister in a long time. And you are probably the most far removed from her because she's the oldest and you don't really know anything about her. She feels like a stranger as you walk in. If it weren't for the shade of blue, the family resemblance, she'd just be another royal hue from a different family. She is there, at the conductor's table, actually. She is actually the one instructing her sorry. She's the one instructing this miniature orchestra. How do you feel as you step into the room, Cornelia?
I think she's still a little bit mad about the rumors. I don't think she's necessarily relieved seeing one of her sisters here. Uh, she might be a little embarrassed. She'd be taking tutelage, and also she might embarrass herself in front of this oldest sister. She's going to stand up straight. She's going to approach Carmen. Ah, sister, I didn't know you'd be today's instructor. Good morning.
Well, I wanted to surprise the family, and well, uh, mother and father were so kind to allow me the use of the Great Hall. And then she is smiling really proudly at some of the non-blues in the group. Um, they were so kind to allow me to invite some of the other hues over for this lesson.
You think that's why our
Now,
other sister suggested I take music lessons? Did she know? Did you tell any of our other sisters you were teaching today?
uh, maybe. And then she just smiles kind of cheekily. And then she shakes her head. Are you kidding? I haven't seen anyone in so long. I have been rather busy. But, it is nice that you're here. You are the last one I would have expected to be interested in music lessons.
I was told it's a good way to make friends.
There is a fond smile on Carmen's face. Like she nods at Cornelia and she says, once you understand the power of music, once you understand the power of our music, then you will know what it truly means to connect. And then she
Right.
pauses for a moment and she says, so tell me, what are you interested in to play?
Well, I hadn't really thought about it. What would be most useful for you? Are there any gaps? Is there anywhere that you need filling in? Any sections that are particularly weak in need of shoring up?
Um, the one thing you notice about the orchestra itself is that they are generally younger. Like they are a youth, really. This is like a youth orchestra, actually. It's
I
the Fey
know.
equivalent of a youth orchestra. It's probably like older members are the equivalent of like maybe a young adult, like 17, 18, maybe. Like
Yeah.
so they're relatively young.
Cornelia
And
is in that
she's
24, 25 mark. Yeah, this is
and
normal.
she just says and she just says, I've lived my life doing what my heart calls me to do. That is how I came to find my connection to the soprano saxophone. What does your heart tell you? What looks interesting to you?
Um, well, she's going to look across all the instruments. Which section has the most people in it? Because she's here to make friends.
Okay, so the stringed instruments
Hmm.
definitely the violin section is very densely populated. You've got a dozen kids with violins. In the woodwind section, between the different types of saxophones, those guys are very significant. In the brass section, hilariously, there's um got a handful of trumpets, half a dozen French horns, and uh, a tuba, and like three guys playing the trombone. The brass section is not the biggest one as a whole, but there are some interesting people over there. The percussion section is three different fae kind of working between the drums and like a xylophone, different types of percussion. Like there's a three different percussionists there.
The
But yeah, if
percussion
you're
is
looking,
very tempting right now as she is still kind of feeling that anger from the newsletter. She would probably
yeah,
enjoy hitting something. I think she's going to kind of push those emotions down, and as her gaze kind of travels, um, the harp is large. So she's like,
it
"Oh, I
is.
can go there. The strings, there's lots in there, but I can also stand out. Maybe I can be a soloist within a symphony." So she kind of like, "I think I would like to try harp. It can't be that difficult. I'm sure it's just plucking strings."
Um, and Carmen smiles and she says, "No, as it turns out, I have a beautiful harp that's just waiting for the right person. It's not
Wonderful.
necessarily the most popular choice. There's not actually a harp in the stringed instrument section right now. So um, Carmen takes a couple of minutes to properly and appropriately move a harp into that particular section and make room
Oh
for
no,
you
I'm being a
next
problem.
next to the bassist, the guy with the upright bass,
Oh,
because
I'm
he's
near the cool
also,
kid. Nice.
yeah, it's just, it's one of those things where his reputation has cool kid vibes, but he's also like tall and gangly and awkward looking. So he
Hmm.
doesn't look like the cool kid, but he's well liked somehow. You don't necessarily understand or parse the situation, but you are placed next to this guy in the back because you have your upright instruments, so you are both vibing back there. But you are situated in the string section, and Carmen addresses the entire class, and she says, "Someone who has been away from home far too long, it brings me great joy to assemble some of the House of Hugh's most shining young talent, and an honor for me to ensure that you are all prepared for Queen Molly's coronation, where you will all make your debut." And all of the younger kids who have had a few more lessons than Cornelia look so excited. Like some of the older kind of teenage fae are like giving each other high fives, like, "We're going to the Queen's coronation." Um, the younger, smaller Fae are kind of like shocked, like, oh my gosh, we're going to see the queen? And, there's definitely a mood of celebration there. And you are addressed um, by um, this kind of tall magenta, like royal magenta, because that is their house. Um, their name is Colby. Um, their parents were really weird. They didn't name their kid anything to do with their house or whatever. They just thought it was a really pretty name. You know, may or may not have spent time in the human world, so they were like, this name is nice. We like it. So this is the upright basis is Colby of the house, the Royal Magentas of the Royal Magentas, and they are just looking at you like, how do you feel about that? And he kind of gestures his head towards the front of the house and kind of in a wordlessly saying, like, how do you feel about what was just announced?
I'm quite mad at my other sister. She did not tell me that this orchestra was so advanced. I was assured that this was the introductory music lessons.
Yeah, siblings can be funny like that,
Do you
right?
have many?
I mean, I really don't have that many.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it's, well, I mean, I have more cousins than I do siblings, the I'm really close with the Royal Reds, Uh, my cousin Poppy, she was the reason I joined this orchestra. She's out there in the world and they gesture, traveling and playing with the um, big Royal Orchestra, but I wanted to follow her footsteps.
How
So
exciting.
yeah, I'm so sorry you ended up in the wrong class.
It will be fine. The conductor is my sister, hopefully. Maybe I can take some remedial lessons. Um, I'm sure I'll catch up just fine. How it can't be that difficult.
I mean, to be fair, we're this is an intermediate class. I've only been playing the
Oh.
upright bass for about a year or two. Not a big deal. You'll catch on just fine.
Hmm.
And um they quietly say, if you want a little extra help. And they hold up their hand and it starts glowing a little flash of magenta and they smile at you.
All right.
And between you and me, I understand the pressure of having a family member who is so incredibly talented and following in their footsteps. I was once where you were, and you know, can help you along at least until you get your footing. So
Thank you.
here is what I will propose.
Oh boy.
Uh, hmm, I, oh, I didn't. I will pay you a resolve token for um okay, so I will pay you a resolve token for the magic to work, or you can pay me a resolve token and the magic backfires.
Ooh.
That is how that works.
I would like the magic to work.
Excellent. So you can mark an extra resolve token
Thank
for
you.
Rosie, and I will mark off one of the facilitator tokens. And
I don't think
so
it's
what
easy for her to
happens?
accept help, but she's connecting. Older
What
sibling.
what happens is there's this flow of magenta light that travels from their hand to the strings on Cornelia's harp. And whenever Cornelia plucks them, they will always play the right note. And then Colby leans down, says, if you want some private lessons, I also know how to play the harp. I prefer the upright bass, but I can at least get you sorted out with the basics.
I think I would appreciate that. I'm so sorry. You've already been so helpful and I don't have your name.
Colby,
Colby, I'm
Colby.
Cornelia. Cornelia Blue.
Oh, yeah, of
Oh
course.
gosh. You must be so embarrassed now. My name was in the newsletter this morning. Oh no.
I don't read those things. Who reads
Oh,
that garbage anyway? None of that stuff's true, is it?
I do think it is wise to at least be apprised of what rumors are going around so you can be sure to avoid or rectify them.
You know, being adjacent to the Royal Reds, but not quite being one of them is quite useful, honestly.
Hmm.
In any
Less pressure,
case,
I'm sure, yes.
the rumors don't really matter to me. They don't pertain to me. It's very easygoing. But listen, you should pay attention. But uh, you know, let's hang out after class and I can show you the basics at the very least.
All right, I am very willing to learn. Thank you, Colby.
Okay. Um,
Making
and
plans?
yeah. So the class goes on, and with Colby's magical intervention, you are able to at least keep up with the class of students who have at least been taking lessons for a year.
Whoops.
Um, you look fairly competent. No one really suspects anything of it. They just think you're someone who's been taking private lessons, maybe? Who knows? Um, it doesn't really matter. No one questions Royal Blue. Um,
Nope.
and at the end of class, conveniently the magic fails, or the magic fades, and it's
Yes.
as the class ends, and you suspect that Colby has removed all of traces of their intervention, so they are not caught helping. But you know that Colby just seems like a very cordial and friendly person, and you do understand that their reputation is well warranted as someone who is very well liked, despite their I'm not despite their unconventional aesthetic and they're being a magenta that's not very common, they
Right.
definitely do stick out.
Relatively new to the
um
scene.
well, mostly just there's so few of them that they do stick out when you see them. And orchestra is offered a nice, like, at this point it's like a brunch, and your
Of
sister
course.
has set up a brunch in the six remaining long tables for the entire orchestra. And you have this opportunity to socialize. How does this make you feel?
Um, I think she's going to try to position herself near her sister, um, just as like a safety net. She's also made friends with Colby, so anywhere that's kind of near, if she can arrange that she's sitting between them, I think she'd be very happy. But who wants to sit
Um,
near teacher?
but definitely don't get a chance to. You do have a chance to sit next to Colby. However, your sister is running around, you know, taking care of brunch things, but she does
Ah,
intercept you for a moment and she says, I'm so proud of you for making friends and stepping out of your comfort zone, little one.
thank you. It is quite difficult, more difficult than I imagined, but it is very nice. I am very surprised. Making friends is easier than I thought.
Um, Music does have a way of bringing people together, doesn't it?
I suppose so. You all have to work together, so might as well enjoy each other's company.
Listen, I didn't realize you would be here. I genuinely thought you wouldn't be because this is an advanced class, an intermediate class, but I'm glad that you're here. Um, you know, you don't have to take another lesson if it's something you truly do not want. But we'll catch up. I actually have decided to spend a little more time at home, so maybe we can spend some time.
That would be wonderful. Yes, I know that mother and father do miss you, as do the rest of our brood. Um, I did
And
enjoy this. I do want you to know I did enjoy this.
she makes this face at the mention of the rest of the brood. I do not miss all of the competition.
I am in the thick of it, as it were, so I understand.
Do you know why I went away?
For some peace and quiet, I would imagine more than anything.
Uh, to her head to the side in the direction of where all the instruments are. Some,
Right, the music.
some, some quiet, Cornelia. Really?
I, you
And she
know,
chuckles.
projecting my own wants and needs. I do apologize.
No, it's absolutely fine, dear. No, I came here. I left home. I joined the big royal orchestra because I wanted not necessarily to escape noise, to create harmony within the noise.
I think that, pun intended, strikes a chord with her.
It's so good. And Carmen, despite the fact that she is much older and you are also much older, old habits die hard. And Carmen pats your head, in that affectionate way that she would always do. And she says, hope you'll keep that in mind as you progress.
I think I will.
And
Uncle
then,
Ambrose had said something quite similar. I think I want to leave competition behind. For the moment. Try something new, right?
absolutely. And she leans forward to say something a little bit quieter in your ear. And she says, remind Colby that if they can get away with helping you cheat, that I was perfectly aware of it and that I send my gratitude for their welcoming attitude. And also, if I do ever catch them pulling that sort of trick again, there will be consequences. Please extend this warning to them when you see them.
Of course, and I will endeavor to learn the proper way. Just didn't want to embarrass myself on the first day, having already made the mistake of being in the wrong place.
Well, some of our siblings are quite unsavory when it comes to tricks and pranks like that. you know, trying to embarrass each other. It's really not my scene. You do understand that's why I left.
This seems like a much better way.
Well, I could have told you that for several years, but
Stubborn.
I, I believe that you had to figure it out the same way I did
Hmm.
on my own terms. But listen, if you are very keen, there's no one more gifted than Colby from the entire string section. They are a multi-instrumentalist. They will help you find your way. You've made a good first friend.
Good. I'm glad that I chose well.
Something to keep in mind. Sometimes make friends. Sometimes you choose your friends. Sometimes they choose you.
Oh, funny to have something like that out of one's control, but I suppose that's how relationships are meant to work. It's not meant to be about control. I'm just
Ah,
used to being in charge of everything to do with myself. This is new.
oh, you definitely still have control over yourself and your reactions and how you behave, but there is a certain element of faith. Good luck with good luck with that one, little one. And she hands you a purple drink. It
Ooh.
is the like a Fey equivalent of like a mimosa.
Oh, lovely.
Just you
At a
get one of those.
kids' orchestra.
She knows how old you are.
Oh, lovely.
She would.
Okay.
She's your sister. Also, she was
Wonderful.
probably holding it for herself and then decided to hand
Oh,
it to you. Here you go. Enjoy that. It just looks like juice. You know how like mimosas look like orange juice? It just looks like a
it just
like
looks like grape
it
juice.
looks like a it looks like a blackberry
Ooh,
juice, but
nice.
it's actually it's actually the Fey equivalent of a mimosa, and just says, "Here you go."
And she will enjoy it and carry on her merry way.
Um, and for that, and with that, we're going to leave Cornelia behind to make friends and socialize. And then we will take a 2-minute break real quick. Looks like that we're working out some tech stuff tonight, so we're doing it live. We'll be back in 2 minutes, everyone. It's fine. We're good to go. Let's boogie. As we zoom out from the House of Blues, the Royal Blues, their youth orchestra class, enjoying some social time after their class, we are going to pay Dulcinea a little visit because she's out on a mission. Very quiet mission. Of course, I do want to ask a real quick question of Dulcinea. How are you feeling about that newsletter that just came out?
She has mixed emotions. So she's glad that the pressure's a little bit off her when it comes to the humans. And she honestly doesn't give a damn what her sister thinks of her. However, she doesn't like the fact that people think she is the problem in her relationship with her sister. And so she's definitely thinking about how she's going to spin it and throw it back at her sister because she has a feeling that the rumor isn't true, but that her sister spread it.
There's a number of different ways that could have happened. In any case, I mean, you somehow managed to bite her 69 times.
Yeah, so it's
Honestly,
like, oh, now
what,
you're done.
that like it doesn't make sense if she were to ban you from her property now. Like, what about the other 69 times or the other 68 times before that,
Right? It's like,
It's
now you want to do it? No, I think you're just trying to get people to feel bad for you because, oh, my sister bites me. It's like, well, maybe don't be so annoying.
absolutely. So you agreed to deliver a letter. But this letter is not going where letters usually go.
Nope.
This letter going to someone whose name you haven't seen before on any of the correspondence Elia usually sends out to the human world. Um, what is the name? Hester?
The Hester.
Hester? Was it Hester Bamber?
Yeah.
Remind me again, table. What is the relation that we all decided? My brain is blanking. Was it like someone
Great aunt?
decided something? Great aunt?
Yeah, Hester is
Take it with
Elia's great aunt.
aunt. Okay. Yeah, this one's odd. This one's different. As you've never had to deliver a letter to this person before, but you decide to go anyway. Little fun romp through the human world, and there is a portal at the edge of the hidden world. It's really not actually the edge of the world or anything, but it's called the portal at the edge of the world because someone who named it thought it was like, ooh, ominous portal at the edge of the world. I am so trendy. And it's just some hipster fae who was trying to be cool. Anyway, um, so you are at the portal, the end of the world, and it is a large purple shimmery doorway. And you pass through, and it feels like a wave of like jelly textured situation walking through a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But like not in the sense that you're met with any sort of resistance. It's actually really easy to walk through, but it does kind of feel like jelly when you walk through it a little bit through the portal. And you land at the edge of Avondale, the beautiful county of Avondale, real fancy like cottages and like, quaint little cottages. You haven't landed in the like busy part. You are just, you can make it seem like you are you know, heading into town or whatever. It looks real legit and the magic just protects you. Now, they like to make sure that they look a certain way when they go into the human world, you know, to fit in. What does Dulcinea look like when she goes into the human world?
I think Dulcinea has long, flowing, still very wild, curly hair going down behind her. She has them like covering her ears a bit. And she puts on something that she thinks it looks really stylish. It's not really in human sense, but it is like a Regency style dress. And she has a flower crown, and she has flowers woven into her curls because she is, again, House of Flora and Fauna. She's got to represent. And as she walks, she's like always saying hello to the birds and things like that as she walks by.
So, oddly enough, get to the kind of edge of the kind of more rural area of Avondale where it's right before the city town proper. And that is where you must deliver your letter to Miss Bamber in a cozy little cottage. Nothing huge or fancy, you know. It's a very nice cottage. And, you know, part of the reason you enjoy these excursions is that you really do get away with running back and forth because you always end up in the parts of town usually where it's mostly just people coming and going from their houses and you don't really get bothered that much.
Yeah, Dulcinea is just chilling as she walks by.
A lot of people just smile and, you know, slightly unconventional in terms of like the flower crown. It's not the most definitely the dress is not of specifically the current style, but you know, doesn't really matter because people find Dulcinea endearing and friendly talking to the animals, and they don't really think much of it, you know? Just Dulcinea looks the part to the point where it's just, oh, there's an oddball, quirky maiden or whatever. They're fine with that. So people in general, at least in the rural area of Avondale, don't pay you any mind when you go.
Perfect.
So what do you do once you get to Hester Bamber's house?
I think Dulcinea is like about to just like pop in and then goes, "We talked about this. Elia said I have to knock when I go to people." Okay. And she's gonna knock at the door like right before she's like, "No, we talked about this. Is that but no, we talked about this." Elia will find out and Elia will get upset. Just, it's not that hard. Remember, it's courteous. And she's like trying to convince herself to just not just barge into this person's house. She has to like remind herself like these are manners that I have been taught. So she like takes a second, collect herself, and then knocks on the door.
Oh, just a minute. Hang
Okay.
on, be right there. Oh, hiya. Do I know you?
No, I'm new in town. I was here. I'm friends with Elia.
Oh, Elia, she is my great niece. Haven't seen her in quite a while. I heard she's on holiday.
Yes, she's holidaying. She's hanging out with my family. I'm Dulcinea. I'm Dulcinea. It's nice to meet you. I'm
Oh, nice to
supposed to
meet you. I'm
introduce
Hester.
myself to people. It's nice to meet you. Elia, I was in town, from the
France.
coast. We're at
From
the
the coast.
coast. We're at the coast. Yeah, I know that, but Dulcinea doesn't remember the story.
The coast of France. Oh, you've come a long way then.
I was in the area. I was completely in the area for horses.
We
I
do
needed
have horses here, yeah.
I needed a horse, and the coast ran out of them.
Would you like to come up for some tea?
That would be lovely.
Okay, come on in now. It's quite cold outside. Come on now.
Yes, freezing, very cold, much cold, very cold.
How'd
Yes.
you get those flowers in this weather? Come on now. Come on.
I have a talent for growing things.
Well, that's lovely. A green thumb never hurt anyone.
Right? I love flowers. This is a lovely home you have here.
It's so just cozy cluttered. There's dried flowers, there's paintings, lots of Fae adjacent ephemera, there's crystals, all sorts of good.
Dawson is definitely looking at all the Fae things like, oh, what's that?
Oh, that there? That is my altar. We're approaching the solstice, so I wanted to get it all set up, all nice and tidy. Don't tell the church. You seem like you're in the know, though, so I trust you.
Okay, yeah, the church. What's a church? Church.
Don't worry about it. I'll get you some tea. And she's gonna go busy herself.
Okay. What's a church? Do they know what the church are?
Oh no, if they know what the church are.
I don't think they know what the church is. They're like, it's a church.
I am going to let me see. No, that's not gonna work. I I'm gonna say that you don't know what the church is. I was trying to see if I can leverage one of your reputation tags and be like, here's a resolve token. You don't know what the church is, but none of your reputation tags would work for that. But I don't think Dulcinea knows.
Dulcinea doesn't know what the church is. No, she doesn't. Okay.
Hester's just
She
going
doesn't
up.
hang out in the human world very much, except for to deliver letters. She doesn't know what the church is.
Yeah. She's just like, this lady seems nice. Also, that's definitely for the Fae. Yeah.
Well, here you go. It's some hemlock, not the poison, the tree kind. And with some nice honey, it should do you well. Just sit down anywhere you like. Got plenty of chairs, plenty of pillows. I think we got a few biscuits as well. And she'll go find a tin of cookies and present those.
Thank you. You're very nice. She's definitely still staring at the face.
I would like to offer resolve token to Albina for there to be a lock of her hair on the altar.
Of Albina's hair?
Yeah.
Yes, and it's tied up in like a lovely little, what's a good color for Albina? I think it's tied up in like a lovely little red ribbon. So like there's it shows like intent that it was given, not taken.
Not like just here,
Albina really
Yeah,
gave
not
a
like-
lock of hair and left.
Yeah, this was like not a sneaky thing of just like Hester like cutting her hair in her sleep. No, it was like
This was
tied nicely in a ribbon and was gifted. So yes,
That's
I
on the
will
altar.
take your resolve
Take it, please.
token to cause problems for myself.
Nope.
It's a very distinct shade of hair color that Dulcinea.
Sure, yeah.
I think Dulcinea's gonna look at that and
No.
go, nope.
Is everything all right?
Here's yeah, everything's there's a hair on the whose hair is that?
That is from my one and only love. It's been a couple decades, but she still holds my heart true.
Oh, what's her name?
Oh, what was her name? It's been so long. It was so lovely. It was like a summer breeze. Albina, that was her name. Loveliest person I
Dulcinea's
ever
gonna
met.
choke on her tea a little bit.
Too spicy for you. I'm sorry.
No, there's no, Albina Fernside?
Yeah, do you know her?
No.
Oh, well, we had a bit of a thing back in the day.
Oh, of course.
You're great aunt.
That exactly. That's so you definitely know about you definitely know about us. You definitely like
The gears are turning.
like she's like realizing she's like, oh, you know. Oh.
I would
Name's
like
Dahlia.
to offer a resolve token to Dulcinea
Sure.
to have a nervous twitch happen in the form of like a random plant manifesting out of her hand magically. Just like a
Yeah,
anxious
I'll
twitch.
take it. I'll take it. It's definitely like Hester says something and she's like, what? And then a giant like
Yeah.
snapdragon. A giant snapdragon. Just like, oh,
one
Anxiety
of the
snapdragon.
Look at that.
that explains Elia so much. I knew she took that too well.
So Elia knows about the fair folk too.
Elia might have lied about where she is. She might be at my house right now.
On the other side.
On the other side. Yeah, she might be. Yeah, I'm Dulcinea.
Hi.
She's gonna like show our ears show that we're Fae, right? We decided that as a thing. Yeah, she's gonna be like, yeah, I'm like, yeah. Hi.
So humans can go to the other side.
You're not supposed to, but yeah, you can technically.
Well, that's okay. And she's just gonna start like packing stuff into a bag. You have to take. If Elia can go, then I can go. It's been 70 years. I'm gonna go see Albina.
Okay, can you just hide the fact that you're human?
What would help with that? What can I do? More flower? You have flowers. Maybe I should have flowers.
I have flowers because my family does flower match. I'm from the house of flora and fauna, so that's why I'm very floral. Although we could just say you're like a distant relative.
Yeah, that'll work. And she's still putting stuff in the bag.
Yeah.
If Elia can do it, I can do it. I'll just follow her lead and your lead, and everything will be fine.
I'm sure Elia's going to be thrilled with this. I'm sure Elia's going to love this. You know what? Sure, let's go. That sounds like a great idea. Elia's going to love this. I'm sure. What do you need to pack? Do you need help?
No, I've got it all. And she like,
wow, that was really quick.
It is just clothes and tea and crystals and whatever was around.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Sure. We can. Do you want to go now? Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Not? Sure. Okay. I'm going to cover my ears again.
I don't have anything else going on.
We're in the human world. Okay. Yeah. So just you got to lay low a little bit while we're there. Because I'll kind of get in trouble for bringing you.
Have you gotten in trouble for Elia?
Not yet.
Not yet. I like the sound of that.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. This will be fine. Elia's gonna love this. Yeah, this is gonna be great. Okay. And you're looking for Albina.
Has she gotten any of my letters, you know?
So Albina and I like kind of know each other, but like, so her family cursed mine so that I'm allergic to ferns.
Well, that's awfully rude.
I think it was our fault. It probably was our fault. If you met my sister, you would understand it's probably our fault. But so I'm just like, I sneeze a lot when there's ferns around, which really sucks when your whole thing is flowers.
Plants.
Yeah. So that's how I know of Albina, but she's also in a different court than I am. I'm, of course, at Court of Splendors. She's Court of Shadows. She's in the military. We don't really see each other a lot. But I'll help you find her. I'm sure this will be great. So let's go. And she's gonna help Hester to the portal.
So hilariously, as they make their merry way to the portal at the edge of the world, smash cut to Albina, who has been receiving letters from her favorite duo. So she's received a number of different things, like a beautifully drawn map by a child of a place you don't know, or a place you do know, the town of Avondale, the city of Avondale. You've visited there a few times, but you hadn't spent an extensive amount of time there in, I don't know, roughly 17 years?
It's been a long time. I mostly went in my youth, and I wasn't really paying attention to the scenery.
Yeah, but there's a crudely drawn map of the county of Avondale, clearly drawn by a child, but in a lot of ways still kind of oddly accurate, very clever children. There is another drawing, a sketch of a woman with long flowing hair with the caption Sophia Lovelace. And is a note that says, Lieutenant Fernside, have been trying to gain some information to help you. I don't know if you know, or we don't know if you know, that Guild of Whispers uses secrets of the human world to power the magical ley lines of the hidden world. Their point of contact on the other side is a woman called Sophia Lovelace. But no one tells us anything because we're children. I hope this helps. And it's signed Rocky and Trixie.
Yeah, I find that one very interesting. Yeah, and what am I doing with these? I'll probably keep them for now. But I kind of actually slice open the lining of my jacket and tuck them inside the lining and tuck it back up so that they're not immediately in a pocket that anyone could easily pick.
An odd quirk about military jackets specifically. You leave them alone for a moment, and whatever rips, tears from whatever combat might happen just repair themselves. So now your information is stuck inside the liner, and you can't actually retrieve it.
Cut it open again.
You can't just cut it open again, but it's the kind of thing where you would notice if someone tried to cut your jacket open.
Yeah, very useful for being sneaky and spying.
Imagine that, as someone in the House of Shadows, how convenient.
Is somebody doing sneaky spy shit. Yeah, I'm very intrigued by Sophia Lovelace and the fact that we seem to be using some of the human world to power our own magic. That's very intriguing. Yeah.
It really is. And as far as you know, there are multiple sources of energy power that flow throughout the hidden world. But it's always been very odd that the Guild of Whispers specifically has been contributing a source of energy, but no one has actually understood where it came from. And no one in the Court of Shadows really questions it, because there's an unspoken rule that you just don't question things in the Court of Shadows. They're almost like the anti-political Fae. They just are like, I'll
Don't
stay
ask
out of your way.
questions. Yeah, if I don't ask questions of other people, they're not going to ask questions about me, and we all get to keep our shadowy secrets. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. That is exactly the vibe. You know. But yeah, you get a very strong sense that twins genuinely want to help you. Their motivations elude you, but again, you're trained not to ask why. When a gift horse don't look a gift horse in the mouth, or whatever the saying goes.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when they're children sized. I mean, what are you gonna do about that? Don't question the kids. They're fine. So what do you do with this information now that you know the name of a contact in the hidden world?
Is Lovelace in the hidden world? Do we get the sense that she's
Or
like
not,
here now?
not in the hidden world.
Oh, in
sorry,
the human world. There we go.
Human world. Sorry, my tired brain. In the human world. Sorry.
I think with the information that people are coming in and out with more frequency than anyone realizes, I like shift into my little fairy animal form. I turn back into like tiny little stoat, which is like a little black weasel. And I'm gonna go like stake out the portal that I know of in my little weasel form to see if I can notice who is coming in and out, to put some faces to the names in the Court of Whispers.
Okay. So in the Court of Whispers, they all function under code names, secret names. You're not familiar with any of their identities personally. However, the Feathered Whisperer is an important one who comes and goes very often in a kind of half humanoid, half fae form that they like to be in, that is that has like feathered wings at the back. So it's like a humanoid with feathered wings, bird-like and elegance. They like majestic, eagle-like wings and feathers and coloring, but also humanoid, older fae features. So that one, she happens to be the face of the guild. So if anyone's going to identify a member of the house or the Guild of Whispers, it would be the Feathered Whisperer. But nobody dares to make eye contact with her. She's a very stern looking person, but see her shift into a more fully human looking form as she heads in the direction of a portal.
I'm just gonna follow her as a little stoat. Yeah, I'm just gonna start tailing her.
The portal that Dulcinea went to was closer to the the Court of Splendors. That was their kind of designated exit. Follow the Feathered Whisperer in disguise as a human, and middle-aged looking woman as they enter this kind of dark, sparking kind of portal door at the very edge of the lands of the Court of Shadows. It's deep and dark, but you can see because anyone of the Court of Shadows is gifted with sight in the darkness. So you are able to follow this woman into this portal, and you move quickly enough so that you go through the portal nearly at the same time as her, next to her, because the portal is definitely, you can definitely walk more than one person through there, like 2 or 3 people at once. So you are in fact going through. Strangely enough, you notice as the portal, like you look over, portal shifts from like a dark color, like a dark navy color, to something more akin to like a dark purple. So the portal has changed.
Interesting.
You do know that the color of the portal by default is the dark purple. So something has changed. Anyway, rather than land in the destination of somewhere that's outside and open, you are in a cottage. It's spacious looking. Very much, you've got a kitchen that's has this very kind of, I don't know, cottagecore aesthetic, very like, it's totally cozy. You've got a nice table that seats 8 people in the dining area, a nice sitting area, whatever the Regency equivalent is of a nice cozy living room,
Yeah.
sitting room. And you see this woman sit down at the large table. And as she is sitting down at the large table, there's another woman approaching. And they have a conversation. As you listen to this conversation, there's an exchange of paper and mentions of scandal and rumors. A child born out of wedlock. Some, like, a bunch of like really juicy, scandalous secrets. And then just some other random facts, like Ash Gardner's impending wedding. There's a bunch of really interesting stuff. Essentially, it's an exchange of information and rumors about the human world. And the woman you followed talks about siphoning the energy from all of the chaos of the rumors and scandals and having it channeled through the portal. All sorts of like magical shenanigans. It's definitely the darker dealings of Court of Shadows that no one asks about and no one dares to question, but you have managed to sneak your way in to
Scope my way in.
overhearing this.
Does the other woman resemble the drawing that the twins had given me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as a 7-year-old's drawing can resemble an actual person, but
yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's Sophia Lovelace.
Yeah, it is. I think you get enough from the drawing that it is Sophia Lovelace, and you can infer that this is because it's a meeting, and you basically followed the leader of the Guild of Whispers, so you assume that this is a meeting with their contact in the human world.
While they're chit-chatting then, if they're occupied, I'm gonna go snoop through the upstairs. I assume there's an upstairs.
There's
see if I can find any
absolutely an upstairs.
paper that I can take with me to prove anything.
So interestingly, you find find a letter. Find a letter upstairs in one of the rooms. And it is a letter to Sophia from it's basically an angry breakup letter from Sophia's former lover, and just there's hints of oh, you've ruined my family's life, how dare you, kind of sort of vibes to this letter. Also find a letter to a Lady Elena Montgomery. It is not addressed to Sophia in any way, but it is a letter from Lady Elena Montgomery to a Miss Victoria Hughes.
Interesting.
About how she needs to go home and face her family, and how she needs to go back and deal with the responsibility she's left behind, and that she has spent too long running away, and that running you can only run for so long.
And do any of these names sound familiar, or family names sound familiar? Do they seem like they're Fae court names or human?
No, they are definitely human court names. But you do know from the time you spent in your youth that Lady Montgomery was one of the she was the wife of Lady Lady Gardner. Sorry. I forgotten her name. So she is one of
Dahlia?
Gardner. No, that Dahlia, it's Dahlia's mom. Basically, it's one of Dahlia. So Lady Elena Montgomery is one of Lady Dahlia's moms, the one that's still alive. Totally can pull this up. So yeah, so that is what you know from your limited time, like your time from your time in the human world from youth, in your youth. So Lady Elena Montgomery was Lady Camilla Gardner's wife. That's it. I remember now. Totally pulled up my notes. Excellent. So you know that name. Miss Victoria Hughes is not a name that's familiar to you, but you don't really care about Sophia at this point, but you know that that's an important name in the human world.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do next?
All this kind of points to the human world, not the Fae world. Is there anything that like sticks out here as like not human?
In this particular place, no. You are quickly realizing that this is where the human facing side,
yeah,
the human facing side of the Guild of Whispers operates out of, and that the Feathered Whisperer visits here, but this is mostly a base of operations for the humans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll take both these letters. I'll fold them up with my little weasel hands and stuff them in my cheeks. So I got big little rodent cheeks.
And then your one thing you hear on the way out, like when you come back down, is I understand that it's in your best interest for her to return, but she clearly still has something motivating her to stay here. I don't know how you expect me, of all people, to convince her to return.
Is that Sophia saying it?
Yeah, it is Sophia saying it. Weatherington, I do not know what you expect of me. I have done all you have asked for, but I cannot control what happens to Miss Hughes. And if she refuses to return where she rightfully belongs, it's out of my hands.
Okay.
And then the last thing you hear is, well, you have kept up your end of the bargain. Suppose there's not much I can do at this point. And the one who is referred to as Lady Weatherington sighs, and she just says, if you continue to cause chaos and continue to power our magic, I suppose I will need to pay up in return. But know that if you can manage to convince Miss Hughes of where her rightful place is, you will be ordered handsomely. And Sophia just nods. Well, I will do my best. I do have a personal vendetta against the Gardner family. And would be quite unfortunate if people realized that they were harboring a fugitive. And Sophia Lovelace just stands up from the table and says, so I have set up the ley lines to, or I've set up the rooms upstairs. You can patch your ley lines through to the portal that way. It's really inconvenient, but I'm only one person. And she kind of just shrugs. I have to keep all of the secrets, all of the evidence upstairs. So do whatever you need to do. And she kind of just shrugs. She's still human. She doesn't have any access to magic. And she just says, I will return next week. But for now, I will bid you adieu. And she walks out. And, you know, Lady Worthington, the Feathered Whisper does acknowledge her and kind of shoos her away. Yeah, Albina. Then see person you followed manifesting this portal. It is again the dark navy blue rather than the default purple.
Yeah, I should probably like try to hop a ride home on that one.
Sprint through the portal, actually make it like a breath in front of the person you were following because you were just sprinting mad dash.
And I'm gonna keep running. Just in case she realized somebody else came through with her, I'm like booking it from Lady Weatherington slash
The Feathered Whisper.
Feathered Whisper. There we go.
Yeah.
And I'm booking it to the palace.
That is a long way to go.
Don't care.
If you
stoke power.
If you consider this, oh geez. Yeah, it's still a very long way away.
Maybe
it will take
token
you
to teleport.
I mean, you can just attempt to cast a spell.
Yeah.
You are a fae.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Can use a resolve token to have it work, or I can offer, or someone else can offer Albina a resolve token. No, wait, it would have to be target. There's no real target, but I'm gonna say you will receive a resolve token if there is a complication.
I have a lot of resolve tokens, and I'm just to start burning them, so I don't really need a resolve token.
Oh yeah, clear it.
So yeah, I think I would just burn it to cast a spell to get closer to the palace. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so when you finally get to the palace, you do teleport to the palace with your magic. Here's a question though.
This little ferret.
What does the magic demand from you as a result of you arriving at your destination?
What are some examples? What scale are we
So,
requiring?
I mean, okay, so it's a really weird question. It's very
Mhm.
open-ended, but like, so what does the magic make you promise? What does it demand of you or
Yeah.
make you promise? So like, in terms so the magic works, you paid a resolve token, but like, what does that payment look like is basically what it's asking. What
Can it be that I can't lie for 24 hours?
absolutely.
Yeah, because I think that the way I justify this in my mind is she's got something really important to tell to someone and she needs to tell the truth, and the drive to need to tell the truth then is like in this moment she's going to be very truthful to the queen or anyone who will listen, but the collateral of that is she's going to be really truthful to like anybody.
Absolutely. And tumble out of so the magic ends up tumbling you out of your fae form. So when you
Yeah,
do
like
teleport, you roll, and one of the royal guard who is just there and just says, excuse me, turn Fernside, is that you?
yep, it's me. Hello. I very much need to see the queen right now. It's extremely important. She should know that she should be expecting me. I mean, not right now, but sometime in the near future.
In the moonlight, it is actually like the time you spent, like the human world passes, time passes differently. It is really weird. But it is nighttime, and the one guard whispers to the other guard, and then one guard that you did not address you just nods and stands guard there, keeps their post, and the other guard who addressed you will usher you in.
And I take I assume the letters popped out of my cheeks as I was going, and I take them and I slice a little hole in my jacket pocket and stuff them in. So I got letters C really hidden on me.
So when you finally enter the castle, you are actually led into a sitting room that is actually like on the same floor as the queen's private chambers. So you're basically in a holding room for her. And the young queen is in her monarch butterfly form, and she is essentially floating in because she is a tiny little, she is floating in, and she says, Lieutenant Fernside, I wasn't expecting you here so late in the day.
I'm sorry. It's perils of the job. You never know when duty's gonna call. I'm sorry to wake you up, though.
No, it's absolutely all right. You know, I've actually been having trouble sleeping. So, what brings you to my castle at this time of day?
I think I do have some news of your mother. I'm not positive, but I think I'm piecing it together, and you were right. It does involve the Court of Whispers. She does seem like she's in the human realm, but it doesn't sound like she wants to come back. It's possible she's staying with the human family there? Maybe the gardeners?
There is a kind of a scrunched up expression on her face, and she's considering this. Do you have any ideas on how we might be able to get her back?
It sounds like she doesn't want to come back, and while the Court of Whispers is doing things behind your back, I do believe they do sincerely want her back. I think the work they're doing behind your back is for the benefit of our world and not to usurp you. I think our guild leader does want her back, but all she can do is ask the humans. And I'll drop kind of the info that I overheard, that like there seems to be something motivating the queen to stay. She's possibly using the name Hughes to hide under, and that no one can control her. And that it seems that we're kind of paying some sort of debt to the human world to use them.
You are surprised, but the amount of force that comes from that one tiny body as she slams her fist in frustration into the desk nearby, or the table nearby in her sitting room. But then you just see her nod.
I'm sorry, did I do something wrong? Did I make you angry?
No. It is just absolutely frustrating. Still do not trust the Court of Whispers. But what you say is true. What you say is true, and my mother refuses to come home. And then she just sighs. Whatever debt they are paying to the humans, once it is paid, I'm gonna have to cut off whatever their activities are in the human world by royal decree. I do not trust any of it. And if nothing they do will bring my mother back, then the human world will no longer benefit from their labors. I do not care at what cost it is to our world.
Your Majesty, it's your right to do so, but I think they're significantly powering our ley lines here. I think we could function without the human world. I think it could be a cataclysmic shift for us, though.
Well, then you better find a way to get my mother back before Coronation Day, or else I will make changes here that need to be made.
As you wish.
Dismiss Lieutenant Fernside. And you see her flap her little monarch butterfly wings and do the equivalent of a butterfly flying away, storming away in frustration, in a huff. And now you pay a little visit to the lovely Vera Birchbank. Real quick, let's address a couple of things, because Vera, number one, got her twin sent into the military for basic training. You know, power play against your own twin. I respect that.
I mean, it was a little suggestion in her mother's ear that perhaps her sibling would do better in the military. Some of that rebelliousness and you know, making so many different mistakes, perhaps she just needed a little bit of discipline. That's all. It was for the good of her sibling.
Well, absolutely. No one cares more about Eleanor than Vera does, of course, by all means.
That's it, exactly.
Of course, but you know, there is this big elephant in the room of your engagement that needs to be addressed.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I sent those 2 letters, one to Sylvan and one to Sylvan's parents. And I did receive a response from Sylvan, but it was clearly one that was given before my angry diatribe arrived. And since I haven't heard anything back about that letter, I can only hope that something happened to delay or perhaps destroy the letter.
Well, so what do you want to do as far as up shop before the big declaration?
I mean, I think that Vera's gonna have to go visit the Graham family.
Excellent. And what happens when you go a visiting? So knock, knock, knocking on that door.
Knock, knock, knocking. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
I don't
answers
know.
the door?
They have people for that.
Sure.
They do have people for that. They have penguin-shaped people for that.
Yes, of course.
They, the Grahams,
shape.
the Grahams have staffed their home with penguin fae, obviously.
Right. Yes. I mean, of course, definitely. And I think Vera, like, her Faye version of like offering a calling card is she like opens her hand and like blows on it, and this puff of like black smoke like curls up and then forms the words Vera Birchbark to see Sylvan Graham.
Yeah. And the staff, of course, they let you in. You are anyone named Birchbank obviously gets a very respectful welcome. And you are ushered into not the general guest sitting area, but a smaller, cozier, more intimate sitting area. And, one of the staff says, I will get them for you. So you wanted them to get Sylvan?
Sylvan, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like this humanoid looking penguin person. It's so adorable. They kind of just walk off and come back with having summoned your fiance? Maybe?
Hopefully, still, maybe. We don't know yet.
Right. And Sylvan is ushered to the private sitting room area.
Hello, Vera.
Sylvan, I got your letter, and
As did I.
of course the one that I sent to your parents. Actually, they shared that letter with you.
My parents share a lot with me, but I also received your other letter.
I think she's gonna try and like play this off as if she does. What other letter? I
Vera,
don't think I'm sure what you're talking about.
do you want me to go get it?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure that a letter exists. I wouldn't ever presume to think that you are lying about that, but
Vera, we have known each other since we were children. Do not try to play me as a fool.
you've also known my sister, and you know how much mischief she can cause. In fact, recently our family has decided to send her to the military to straighten out some of her problems.
Your sister is an embarrassment and a stain on your family name. At least she is honest.
I am shocked that you would call me, a member of the House of Illusions, a liar.
Vera, I've been able to see through your illusions since we were children. I can also see through your lies. I would have much rather preferred you had owned up to what you said to me than sit here and presume that I am an idiot.
You, an idiot? Look, and now like the gloves are definitely off.
Good.
I'm the one that had to deal with this gossip rag, and somehow she still has one of these flyers, even though supposedly she destroyed like everyone that she could find. This gossip rag that says that I have been broken up with, that my engagement has been ruined.
Your family sure chooses interesting times to actually care what the rest of society believes. Perhaps if you had applied some of that discipline at the ball, this rumor would have never come to foot.
I have plenty of discipline. Okay, Sylvan, listen. We've been engaged for a really long time. We've known each other. In our families, they both need this. So, whatever it is that you think that I did wrong, I'll be happy to change. Like she's totally like turns on a dime again. Of course we must still get married and we like each other, right? Of course. I mean, I like you, Sylvan.
You like me?
I do.
And that's all there is behind it.
So, what I think, and my mother agrees with this, is that we should get married as soon as possible, perhaps even before the coronation.
My parents have said that they will go with my wishes.
And those wishes are?
Loving you is an unfortunate reality of my life. If I could choose not to, in a minute, I would. Your family will cause nothing but embarrassment for mine. An association with you will drag my reputation through the mud. I am the only child in this family. I need to maintain its reputation, its name, and everything about you and your sister and the way you two behave in public, let alone when you're by yourselves, is an embarrassment. Don't think that I haven't noticed you have had to cut yourself off from Lieutenant Fernside. We all know her reputation as well.
Hey, now, Lieutenant Fernside is a fine, upstanding military member.
I grew up with Albina too.
People can change, Sylvan. And it's actually disheartening to see how judgmental you are about some people.
I have to be judgmental, Vera. The name of the House of Graham falls solely on me as the heir. Which is why, as much as I care for you, as much as I would love to propose and to be engaged with you, it would not be wise for my family. Not with your sister acting the way she does, not with the way you wrote to me.
And I think Vera like steps closer and like puts a hand um on Sylvan's arm and says, I was angry. You know, sometimes I have a bit of a temper.
And what
And I
happens when you
only
cannot
take it out
control
on
it?
people that I care about because I know they'll forgive me.
What happens, Vera, when you take that temper out on someone in public? And as my wife, your actions reflect on not just myself, but my family.
Well, obviously, I can work on some things. I mean, people's personalities aren't like rooted.
That's the problem. Despite the issues with your personality, I still find myself attracted to you.
And Vera like smiles and says, and I definitely feel the same. So what's the problem? Let's continue with our relationship and let's make sure that our families keep their standing where we need to be in our world.
The issue is, it seems that keeping our standings is the only reason you wish to be wed to me.
Well, it seems like it just seems like it's a very good reason. And it's a logical reason. And it feels like appealing to you that way.
Do you think I
Is
wish for a wife that only wants me for my name? If you believe that, Vera, then you do not know me at all.
I think you know I want you for more than that. But sometimes I just don't understand you and I don't know how to communicate with you. And using that as an excuse feels like what makes sense to you.
You'll have to get your sister to behave herself.
I mean, she's out of the house, away at the military, and of course, we'll keep an eye on her and make sure that she doesn't cause any trouble.
Because you like me.
Because I like you.
The rumor was wrong.
And I think Vera steps forward like even closer and is like, I'm very happy to hear that.
Because you like me or because of my name?
Because I like you. But can it be both? You wouldn't
One
want me
should
to be
outweigh the other,
dishonest.
Vera. One should outweigh the other.
Then yes, because I like you outweighs everything else. And you should know I'm being sincere because, as you said before, you always know when I'm being sincere. You can see through all of my illusions. So, what do you see right now?
Can I use like a resolve token to see if Vera actually likes Sylvan? How did this work again?
How does
Okay.
that work?
Hold on. Here's the thing. I want to propose this to you, okay?
A lot
The
of proposing
magic
going on right
system.
now.
I mean, to be fair, if you want to use, if Sylvan wants to use their magic to discern the truth,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
can either pay Vera the resolve token to have it actually work,
Mhm.
or Vera can pay you a resolve token and it backfires.
I'm down to give Vera a token if you want, Lily.
Yay!
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Then
So-
Sylvan wants to know what's true.
Okay, so here is the
Oh, hello.
here
That's a cat in my
is
face.
how here is the result of the magics. So if you look at the table of magics in the just scroll down on the characters tab of the play document.
Okay.
So if you have paid a resolve token, Lily, as the player of the target, the person you are targeting, can choose one question. From
Okay.
that list.
Under the pay a resolve token list?
Yes, under, so it's show me when you work your magic,
Mm-hmm.
that column. Yes.
Okay. Oh, I like, what does the magic demand from you or make you promise?
That's a good one. So you get the information you are seeking, but the magic.
Okay, what's the answer that
Wants something in return. Yeah, so what does magic want in return?
from Sylvan?
Yeah.
I think the magic is making them, because this is like a vulnerable moment for very like stoic kind of Sylvan.
Sure.
The magic is demanding that they have to show like how they really feel about situations for the next 24 hours. Like they can't just hide everything behind that I'm Sylvan Graham, fuck yeah, kind of thing.
Okay, but because you paid the resolve token, the magic works as you intended.
Mhm.
So describe to me how this magic manifests itself, and have to tell us how Vera truly, like,
How does
it's
Vera
basically
feel?
yeah, how does Vera truly feel? It is a magic insight check.
So Sylvan's eyes kind of flash. What color is Vera's magic again?
It's like a dark, like smoky gray.
His is more like a smoky blue, but also very like reminiscent, like pairing with Vera's magic. And their eyes flash, and like smoke kind of surrounds Vera for a bit as she has to tell Sylvan how they feel about them.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Yeah, so Vera, I think like she kind of gives herself up to this magic, like she's not fighting it, and is like looking right at Sylvan, when she says, Sylvan, there hasn't been anybody who I felt like this forever in my life. You've always been there. And I wish that that will be our future together.
Sylvan just looks relieved because they can't hide it and goes, Vera Birchbark, will you marry me?
And Vera, like not even hesitating, is like, yes. And then I think says, Sylvan Graham, will you marry me?
Sylvan laughs and goes, absolutely, I will.
Hey, as they have this heartfelt, warm engagement to each other moment, that is where we'll wrap our fourth novel chapter. Wow, it was a rough takeoff, but we took off on that emotional jet, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly do a thing. Yeah, okay, cool. Blah, 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 blah. Quickly, just a couple of announcements. Rangers of the North, sponsored by Free League Publishing on Monday. That's a fun one. Our third zine is out now. Girls Write These Worlds, Pride. Yeah, make sure you check that out on itch.io. Yeah, what else is going on? Ballad of Conjurers with Valgrant. What day is that on? It doesn't say on this. Yeah, tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Oh God, yes. Yes, there's a giveaway in chat for Ballad of Conjurers tomorrow at 2 p.m. Please go out and support that table because they are awesome. Let's see, I am speed running this so hard. Yeah, quickly, we're going to do outros, starting with Arcady.
Hi, I'm Arcady. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet as Arcady Koshka. I mostly hang out on Twitter and Tumblr, but you can find me in other places. I do cosplay and makeup and tabletop RPGs and photos of my cat, so find me there.
Lily, go.
Hi, I'm Lily. You can find me on Twitter at Elise on Life, and on here in chat on Twitch and Discord, I'm Lescribe. And then at Instagram, I am Lily PHL. That's where I have all my creative stuff, like these earrings that I made that I've been wearing today on air. I also have my own podcast called Blurred on the Street. Where three Black and Indigenous women talk about different geeky stuff and current events. And then I'm in a podcast called Misfits of Space, which is an actual play podcast. First season I was in was a Star Wars AP. The currently airing season is Monster Hearts 2, and I'm in that too. And then I'll be joining also their Scum and Villainy campaign soon. So you can check me out there, and Regency Remixed next week. I will be here.
All right. Yeah, Nox, go.
Hi, y'all. My name is Nox. Today I was Dulcinea and Sylvan. You can catch me this weekend doing a whole lot of stuff. One of them with Anne. We're playing Power Rangers over on Bard Rock Cafe at 8 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Anne, I love you. That's why I'm waking up that early for Power Rangers. It's going to be super fun. Then the next day, Sunday at 8 a.m. in the morning, I'm going to be playing Monster of the Week. I'm super excited of that. Also on Bard Rock Cafe. And then that night, Sunday night at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be playing Valor. If you caught our Valor stream here on this channel, I'm playing an alternate timeline version of the character I played in this stream. And I am so excited. The charity is for Black Girls Code, and it's going to be awesome. And then next Wednesday, you can catch me over on the initiative order for Inferno playing Alma. I forgot Tuesday, I'm in a one-shot here on Girls Run These Worlds. It's one of our big gay one-shots. I'm playing Cypher, and Mo is going to be our DM. It's going to be awesome. And follow me on Twitter. Yay.
Yeah, Rosie, quickly, let's speed run this.
Okay,
Let's go.
I'm Sweet Rosie B, just about everywhere on the internet. Today I was Cornelia Blue. You can find me here on Thursday for more of this. You can find me, yep, that's pretty much it for now. I have a bunch of stuff coming up in July. I'm currently casting for a Pirate Borg adventure. Go check that out. It's in my pinned tweet, I believe. We're also fundraising for that. The campaign will be supporting Extra Life if you'd like to help support the show. All those details on my Twitter. I make dice bags to help fund the show. Go check it out.
All right. Hi, my name is Anne. First of all, I want to shout out both Mo and Sarah. Not only did they do hard work on the council, they were helping us out behind the scenes, slaying some tech gremlins. You guys are the best. We absolutely love you. I am Anne. I am the facilitator. We are going to land this plane. I'm so excited. You can find me on Twitter at XO_girlwonder. Yeah, as far as this channel goes, I am here. I will be here next week. There is some stuff in the pipeline I can't talk about yet, but I am super excited. Yeah, if you want to see me GM a Power Rangers game, I will be fundraising for Black Girls Code because, you know, some of our greatest minds just need a little funding. Yeah, that's really it. If you really want to know the places where I am playing a Power Ranger, you can bug me on Twitter about that because we have no time tonight. We will be raiding over to Ryu, one of our founding council members, one of our founders. Absolutely hysterical, great personality. Yeah, they're just hanging out, playing video games. Yeah, that's what they do. So make sure that you just, send some love over to them. Stick around for the raid. Yeah, remember to be nice.